Hello everybody, my name is Rainer, you are watching Rainier Books. It's time to wrap up another week with the books that I have read over the course of the last week, which are the books that I'm planning to read and some other future plans that I'm doing and some other stuff that happened in my world, maybe also in your world. So let's get this video started. This last week hasn't been one of my record reading weeks. Again, I sort of fall back in a little situation where I had a reading, not a reading slump, but I had so much thing to do for my work. It's really, I told you before, the end of the year is always a very busy time for us. And in my office, and we are working more than 50% in the office and up to 50%, a little less, at home right now. And we have to see how Corona is doing with us, because in Germany, for example, Corona is reaching a new high each and every day. For 14 days in a row now, they're up to 50, 60,000 new infections and have huge problems, even in Austria, in the Netherlands, in Belgium, in Greece. But Sweden is right now very, very calm, and the authorities say that we have almost no problems here. There is a lot of virus, there is virus, we have to take care, but compared to Europe, to the rest of Europe, it's nothing, they say. So let's see if that stays the way it is. I think they have already made some plans, at least, because they think in December, I think from December on, December 1, it will only be possible to attend, for example, theaters and events when you have a vaccination, when you can show a vaccination certificate, which is very new for Sweden. But let's go to the books now. I read a little more in Rustam Ibragimgekov's book, Solar Plexus, a Baku Saga in 4 parts, which is the novel of the Post-Soviet Book Club for this month. I'm not really getting quickly fast forward with this one. It's not that I love that book, I would say. It's pretty average book about people growing up in Baku in different decades, but in Soviet times, and I think that makes this also very interesting. And I really want to read it on to finish it, to be able to say something smart about it, hopefully. Then I have changed my reading plans this week, because right now I have the 3 winners of the awards that I follow most in my house, in my apartment. And those 3 winners are, as you probably can guess, The Promise by Damon Galgut. I bought that book before it was awarded the Booker Prize. It's here and I want to read it until the end of the year. I got from the library in Stockholm because it won the Scotiabank Giller Prize last week. What Strange Paradise by Omar Akkad. And I got myself, because I bought it. Maybe I bought the last copy that was available at Hedengren's, which is one of the most famous Stockholm bookshops. They have quite a good English department, so to speak. And there I bought hell of a book. Thursday lunch actually. Wednesday it was awarded the National Book Award in the United States. Jason Mott's novel, hell of a book. On Thursday I bought it for a lot of money, actually, 330 Swedish crowns, which goes for $38, which is a lot of money. But I wanted to have it because I had already started reading the book, the ebook, after it was announced the winner, the first 2 chapters, and I really loved it and I wanted to have it. So now I have it, and I'm about 80 pages in that book, and I will tell you more about it next week when maybe when I already finished it, but I will also do a single review about this book, as I will do about every of those 3 winning novels. I promise that to you. Another book that I received from the library, which is on my new TBR, TBRs are changing all the time, is The Island of Missing Trees by Elif Shafak. I got this one, beautiful cover. Look how it's reflecting here. I love that. Elif Shafak, The Island of Missing Trees, about Cyprus, as far as I understand, and about someone who grew up in Cyprus. Parents moved to London, and then memories come back of that time, and it was said to be a beautiful novel. Sometimes I like to read the beginning of a book. Let's do this spontaneously with Elif Shafak here. The Island of Missing Trees. Once upon a memory, at the far end of the Mediterranean Sea, there lay an island so beautiful and blue that the many travelers, pilgrims, crusaders, and merchants who fell in love with it either wanted never to leave or tried to tow it with hemp ropes all the way back to their own countries. Legends, perhaps. But legends are there to tell us what history has forgotten. It has been many years since I fled that place on board a plane, inside a suitcase made of soft black leather, never to return. I have since adopted another land, England, where I have grown and thrived, but not a single day passes that I do not yearn to be back. Home, motherland. It must still be there where I left it, rising and sinking with the waves that break and foam upon its rugged coastline. At the crossroads of 3 continents, Europe, Africa, Asia, and the Levant, that vast and impenetrable region vanished entirely from the maps of today. A map is a two-dimensional representation with arbitrary symbols and incised lines that decide who is to be our enemy and who is to be our friend, who deserve our love and who deserves our hatred, and who our sheer indifference. Cartography is another name for stories told by winners, for stories told by those who have lost. There isn't one. Strong beginning by Elif Shafak, but I have heard so many great things about it. I have to read this. And the 5th one that is still on my mind, I hope really that I can make it. It's sort of in a competition with all the others right now, right? Is Afterparties by Anthony Veasna. So, if I cannot finish this until I have to deliver it back to the library, I'm gonna buy it, I promise. And let me speak about things. There's so many lists right now. We had the National Book Awards that were given this week in a beautiful celebration. I was awake until 3 o'clock in the morning. The award season is over. All the awards are given to the winners. And how incredibly important it can be to be a winner of a great prize. I read this week, I think on Twitter, I read that the publisher of The Promise, the Booker winner by Damon Galgut, which is Chatto and Witness in London, they have to print 153,000 new copies of that book, thanks to the winning of the Booker Prize for Damon Galgut. So that's really showing how huge the impact of a prize like the Booker can be for a novel and for its writer. And that's beautiful. At the end of the year, there's so many lists appearing. Top 10 here, top 10 there. Every newspaper section, the book section, they want to show that they are very well informed. They want to show that, and they also want to show, of course, they want to make you suggestions, you readers, me as a reader, us readers, the suggestions of what books we should buy for Christmas. And there are lists everywhere, and Greg from Supposedly Fun has started making videos about those lists. And I thought that is kind of a good idea, but I don't want to be a copycat to Greg's channel. So he did a video about the top 10 books that the Washington Post published as their top 10 list of the year, which is a mixture of nonfiction and fiction. So I thought, okay, that link below that article is more interesting to me and maybe even to you. Because there, in a larger article, the Washington Post has published a list of 50 works of fiction that they think are worthy of being named at the end of the year. And among these 50 titles, I found many titles that we have spoken about here on BookTube, and many titles that I haven't heard about. And I will take a closer look to that on that list and will present it to you one of these days in this beautiful week to come. But it's already a little sort of appetizer. Afterparties is on that list by Anthony Veasna, as one of the best 50 books, notable books. Assembly by Natasha Brown, that I L-O-V-E'd. Hell of a Book by Jason Mott, which I really like a lot after 80 pages. How Beautiful We Were by Bula Boy. You know, and if you saw my channel, if you follow my channel, you know that I love this book. How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House by Cherie Jones, a book that also had a strong impact on me, as had Infinite Country by Patricia Engel, which is also on the list of the post, as is also The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Dalila Harris. 2 books on that list that one book that I DNF'd and one book that I finished but didn't like either, are internet books. Fake Accounts by Lauren Euler and No One Is Talking About That by Patricia Lockwood. And there are many, many others, so wait for this video to come. In a couple of days, I will present to you the 50 books of the Washington Post. I also have to do another tag video because I have to finish the alphabet. And the next letter for me would be R, which is my name. My first name is Rainer, and which would be the name of my channel, which is Rainier Books. And Jim, of course, at Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff has done this. So that is, I think, the most important thing to say about reading for the next week. Thanks very much for watching this video. I hope that you stay safe until the next video, and until all of the videos that I make, of course. And I see you soon. Check out. Bye-bye.